What is up, F and True followers? JC Styles of F and True Wrestling with the Monday Night Raw 3-hour All-Star review for 6/13/2011. Now, because we have 3 hours of wrestling to talk about, I'm just going to give my brief thoughts on the matches. I'm not really going to dwell too much on the promos. We see a very good match between. We start off the before we start off the review, I want to say I'm sorry that Brian can't be with me. He's helping his mom out, so he wasn't able to watch Raw tonight. So he's going to get his review up as soon as he can get a good video up on WWE.com or maybe on YouTube or on WWE Fan Nation. Also, I want to plug our sister channel, F and True Entertainment. Please subscribe to that. We will be uploading more content. We're going to upload movie reviews, game reviews, etc. Me and Brian both played LA North, so we might do a review of that, even though that we haven't beaten it. We're also going to try to get that Fast 5 review out to you guys. We've been promising that. So we got a couple of videos coming for that. Also, I want to plug the channel that I just made up today for the video I did this morning. It was called Blast from the Past, Remembering the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That video turned out pretty good, so I decided to upload. I decided to make a channel and upload some of old Power Ranger clips. For those of you, I'm going to upload 2 episodes a day. I'm going to cut them into 2 parts so I can fit the whole video up there. Fortunately, when you're just starting out, you're only allotted a 10-minute time window. So I got the first episode, Day of the Dumpster, the first episode that when they got their power morphers, their powers, their Zords, and I also got the second episode where we see, get the second episode up there, so check that out. Please subscribe to that. I'll put an annotation up in this video. Now, Monday Night Raw went on the air, and a lot of people thought that it was going to be, kind of crummy. It wasn't going to be all that great. It was actually pretty good. We saw some really good matches. We saw a 6-man tag match. We saw Sin Cara, Daniel Bryan, and Ezekiel Jackson take on Ted, Cody Rhodes, and Wade Barrett. We seen CM Punk versus John Cena in the main event. We saw we saw, I think it was like a 12 Diva tag match, which basically, ended so quickly. We saw AJ, Caitlyn, Eve Torres, Beth Phoenix, Natalia, Eve Torres, I believe I said Kelly, take on Maurice, the Bellas, Melina, Rosa Mendez, and that was a very good match, as short as it was. We've seen a squash match with Santino Marella versus Sheamus, which we knew that was going to happen. It was a very good Raw. We saw Kofi Kingston, and I can't remember who. Give me a second to look it up on my iPod, because I have the card all written out. But, it was a very good Raw, don't get me wrong. It was just so much wrestling, not even so much wrestling, it was just so much stuff going on. We seen Kane versus Alberto Del Rio. We saw that was a good match. We seen the returning of the Big Show, took out, chased off Alberto Del Rio to the back. Basically how that came around is like the match was going on. Del Rio and King were trading moves back and forth. Alberto was working on the arm, and then he turned around, and King started hitting him with a big boot, hit him with some right and left elbows, taking it to Del Rio. Del Rio worked the arm, working it up for the arm bar. We see Del Rio execute the arm bar, and pretty much basically King got to the rope. Del Rio refused to break the hold, got himself disqualified. Winner by DQ was Kane. Post-match, we see Del Rio not releasing the hold. We see Big Show come out, basically get his hands on Del Rio for a couple of seconds before Ricardo Rodriguez gets involved, and Big Show just lays him out, and we go to a commercial, and we come back from the commercial. We see Ricardo being loaded into the ambulance. We see CM Punk, like I said. Piper's pit was funny. We seen Piper and the Miz and A-Rye. We saw how the Miz was talking about how he was the Roddy Piper of 2010 and 2011, and Piper called him nothing but a Roddy Piper wannabe. We see Christian versus Rey Mysterio, which was actually a pretty decent match until Christian started to choke Rey with the ropes. The referee calls for the bell, disqualifies Christian, and he didn't stop choking him after the 5 count, so he got disqualified. Post-match, after the bell, Christian gets pissed and slams Mysterio. Christian goes to the top rope and meets Rey, and then fight on the corner. Rey backdrops Christian to the mat, goes on. CM Punk runs down, and Rey sees him. Rey leaps to the floor, takes out Punk. Mason Ryan, McGillicuddy, Tunga run down. Rey drops Christian for a 619, fights off Nexus. Rey goes for the 619 on Christian. Mason catches his legs, rams him into the ring post. We see Austin backstage with Dolph. We see a match which was supposed to be R-Truth versus Morrison, but that didn't happen. R-Truth was actually taken out. John Morrison was taken out pre-match. We see R-Truth basically, calling him out, come out, get his ass kicked. We see R-Truth go back, and you see Morrison laid out, grabbing his neck. And basically R-Truth got to him. Plain and simple. R-Truth beat him down. And I kind of knew it was going to happen because, John Morrison coming back from a neck injury, that was way too quick. But we see R-Truth just take this cart and just ram it into the wall with John Morrison between that and the wall. We see Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger take on Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston. Now, this was a fantastic match. It was definitely a back and forth. We've seen Evan Bourne and Jack Swagger fight over the last couple of weeks. We've seen Kofi and Dolph Ziggler taking each other one-on-one for the last couple of weeks on Raw. And, it's really good. It was a really good match. We saw some really good high-fly wrestling. We saw some really good mat game. We saw near falls. But with the end result, we see Kofi do a Trouble in Paradise on the apron to Swagger, who was inside the ring. Then Swagger kind of stumbles and falls, and we see Evan Bourne hit the Airborne, which is a shooting star, his version of the shooting star press for the win. WWE congratulates The Rock on winning the biggest ass kicker of the year award at the Spikes Guy Choice Awards. Then we see basically the Piper's Pit, and we see Piper talking about how the Miz was, like I was saying earlier in the video, how Miz was just the wannabe Piper, and we see Piper and then A-Rye comes out, and A-Rye says he's gonna be. Piper says how he's gonna beat Miz at Capital Punishment. How the Miz was out. Piper didn't see the Miz on the Real World. He had better things to do with his time. And then, this all worked up to Alex Riley challenging on behalf of Roddy Piper to a match. And the loser had to bet $5,000. And the Miz lost $5,000. Which A-Rye was a special guest referee. And in my mind, I don't think that the Miz purposely, obviously purposely refused to listen to the ref's call. A-Rye stepped in. The Miz went to punch A-Rye, and A-Rye beat him to the punch. And then we see a fast count 1, 2, 3. Piper wins $5,000, which I pretty much don't think that's going to actually happen. But that'd be kind of interesting if it did. Let's see. Like I said, it was a lot of Raw. We see Austin come out, and he announces next week is going to be Viewer's Choice. Now, a year ago to that very day, we see the debut of the Nexus. So I'm looking forward to seeing something really big out of next week's Monday Night Raw. Not too big, but I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of big stuff. We see Randy Orton cut a promo and how Austin says that we know that Orton got hit with a steel with the heavyweight championship, and he has a concussion. And Austin's not going to allow him to wrestle. Austin runs back down to the ring for some beer and thanks the fans of Long Island. Austin basically took the podium, which was actually funny because Austin was like, "Are you ringing that buzzer? You keep ringing that bell. The whooping I gave you a couple of weeks ago is going to be nothing to the one I'm going to give you tonight." And someone was like just messing with Cole and just had like the button just laid down or whatever, and it was just funny as heck. And we see at the end result, Austin chased off Michael Cole, destroying the general manager computer and podium, pouring beer, running over it with the ATV. Uh, then we see Lawler and Booker talking to talk about the press conference with SmackDown stars Christian, Cody Rhodes, Sheamus, the Great Khali, and Hornswoggle. Now it's funny, Hornswoggle can talk, but he refuses not to. They like to work this angle for kayfabe that he can't really talk, so he kind of like grunts. He's like, hey, meh, 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 meh. And it was funny because Obama turns around. He's like, we support those type of aspirations. It was just really funny. It's a really good promo. This one. We move into the main event of the night, which was CM Punk versus John Cena, which was a decent match up until R-Truth had to stick his nose in it. We see basically Cena finally gets out of the. Cena fights out and out of the out of the GTS and locks in the STF on Punk, but Punk makes it to the ropes, breaks the hold. Punk with a dropkick for a 2 count. Punk with knees in the corner. Now Punk whips Cena hard into the corner and gets another 2 count. Punk uses the ropes to splash Cena in them, covering Cena for another 2 count. Punk kicks Cena in the corner now and whips him across the ring. Punk charges the corner with the high knees to the jaw. Punk goes for the that running knee bulldog that he does, which is a fantastic move, by the way. I love it. Misses the thing. Cena ducks the clothesline, hits the shoulders, and big back body drop. Punk lost lots of boos for Cena from tonight's crowd. R-Truth suddenly appears in the crowd and starts talking about Jimmy and all the little Jimmys in the crowd. True stops in front of one of the fans and offers to trade him a sip of water for the kid's Cena hat. This distracts Cena of following Punk to come from behind, hit the GTS for the pin and the win. Post-match, we see after the match, Punk celebrates and heads to the locker to the back. Truth makes his way to the ringside wearing the kid's Cena hat. Cena tries to recover from the GTS as Truth awaits him behind. Truth smacks Cena in the head with the water bottle and lays him out with his finisher. Then we see R-Truth pose with the WWE Championship belt, and he looked good wearing it. I hope R-Truth wins it at Capital Punishment. We need someone new, and we need a fresh face as WWE Champion. So, with that being said, guys, I'm sorry that this was a little lack. I just wanted to get some of the information out there for you. I'm sorry again that Brian couldn't be here for the review. But I know Brian, he'll get his review up as soon as possible. So please subscribe to our sister channel, F and True Entertainment. Please check out my channel, Power Ranger Center. Subscribe, comment, like, thumbs up, thumbs down, whether you like Power Rangers or not. It's just a channel for the Power Ranger fans by a Power Ranger fan. So you can choose not to view it or subscribe to it if you don't want to. And guys, for F and True Wrestling, have a good night, and I will see you later in the week for WWE Superstars.